Sources of revenue and costs explained. In this video we're going to look at the topic of revenue and costs, what they are, and hopefully take some examples so you understand how you calculate these and how they can be useful. So let's start with a little starter. What costs would be involved in B setting up a new hairdressing salon? So try and produce for me two lists. One list that lists all the costs that are going to be associated with setting up the hairdressing salon, and one list for day-to-day costs, so the ongoing costs that B will have in the hairdressing salon. So startup costs, think of those being one-off costs, those are the ones that's setting up, and then think about the ongoing ones being the ones that go on a regular basis. Pause the video now while you do that, and then unpause to have a look at some of my suggested answers. So these are some of my suggested answers. You can see startup costs for the hairdressing salon, maybe fixtures and fittings, so putting in the sinks and obviously the benching and any shelving, for example, the till or the electronic point of sale, EPOS as you may have seen it called, the shop sign that goes outside the shop, equipment, which obviously when I talk about equipment could be like obviously your dryers and your taps and your shampoo and everything else that goes inside there. Advertising the opening, so if you're advertising just the opening, not an ongoing advertising, just as a one-off opening, and even purchasing the building if you're going to purchase the building. For example, those are all examples of startup costs, so one-off costs that you might have in the business. So operating costs. So these are going to be the ongoing costs of the hairdressing salon. So cost of sales, now that is the cost to actually make the product or the service, so the cost to actually make a sale. So for example, the shampoo that's used to actually make the haircut, for example, or the time that's taken to do the cut, or the gel that goes into it, anything like that, the cost of sales is what it means there. Wages, so that might be something that you've come across, you've got to pay the staff wages. Salaries to pay for B, maybe you're wondering what the difference between the two are. A wage is paid by the hour, a salary is a fixed amount of money per year. That makes a wage a variable cost because it changes with the usage, whereas salary would be a fixed cost because it's the same amount of money regardless of how many hours you work each year. Utilities, so that's your gas, your electric and your water, for example. Insurance, so insuring your building, taking out some liability insurance, for example, for your customers. And maybe even your broadband if you've got offering free Wi-Fi, for example, in the salon. You may have other costs, but those are some suggested answers that I've got. So, we've now established there's two types of costs. There are fixed costs and there are variable costs. Fixed costs are the ones that don't change with output. When I say the word output, I mean usage. Here is my example. We mentioned it earlier, the salary. If you earn £20,000 per year, it doesn't matter whether you work more hours or less hours, you still get £20,000 per year. So effectively, if you're on a salary, the more you work, actually the less you earn per hour. It's a fixed amount of money. Whereas a variable cost are costs that do change with output or usage. Again, I've used this example before, but the best example is a wage because that's paid per hour. So if you do more hours, then you get paid more money. So it does change with usage or output. So here is a quick little task for you. Go down the table, placing whether you think it's a fixed or a variable cost. Remember to ask yourself, does it change with usage or does it change with output? So in other words, the more I use it, will I pay more for this item? If you would pay more, it'd be variable. If it stays the same, then it'd be fixed. So you've got rent, broadband, utilities, cost of sales, insurance, wages, salary, pay-as-you-go mobile phone, and unlimited mobile phone contract. At this point now, pause the video while you do it, and then I'll run through the answers with you. Okay, hopefully you've worked out that rent would be fixed because you pay the same amount of money of rent regardless of how much you use that building. So if I use it for 3 days, I pay the same amount of rent as what I'd pay for 5 days. Broadband would probably be a fixed one because again, I'm going to pay the same amount of money regardless. So I might pay a contract where I pay £20 a month and I can use as much broadband as I want. Utility would be variable because obviously the more I use, so the more I put the lights on and the more I turn the heating on, or the more obviously that I run the taps, the more I'm going to pay on my gas, my electric or the water. Cost of sales will be variable because the more products I sell, the more it's going to cost me to buy in the materials that I need to make those sales. Insurance typically will be fixed because you pay the same amount of money regardless, so you pay an insurance premium based on what they predict at the beginning of the year. We've already established that wages will be variable because they change by the hour. A salary will be fixed because you get the same amount of money each year regardless. Now the clue in this one is a pay-as-you-go mobile phone. Because you're paying as you go, the more you use it, the more it would cost you. That would make it a variable cost. Where an unlimited contract mobile phone would be a fixed one because you have unlimited usage of it. So you pay the same amount of money, you pay a set fee every month for how much usage you want to make out of it. Hopefully you got those right and hopefully it makes sense. Another term you're going to come across is total costs. They like to ask you in the exam typically to be able to calculate total costs. Now total costs is really straightforward. It is your total costs. And we know there's two types of costs. We have our fixed costs and we have our variable cost. When we add them together, we get our total costs. As you can see here, I've got some fixed costs and I've also got some variable costs. When you add up my fixed costs to my variable costs, you get my total costs. It really is that simple. The calculation for total costs is fixed plus variable. If you're asked to define it in the exam, I would actually write down fixed costs plus variable costs. It really is as straightforward as that. Using this example here, you've got £650 of fixed costs. Add it to your £560 of variable costs, and the total cost in this example would be £1,210. Hopefully you've worked that out and hopefully you understand where those numbers come from. So we need to establish that costs are money going out of a business. So when you think about the word cost, it's money going out of your business. Now on the opposite side, we have this word called revenue. Now firstly, revenue is not profit. Revenue is literally money that goes into the business. Now you get revenue from different sources. Now I want you to think about this question here. Where would most of the revenue come from for B's hairdressing salon? I'm guessing most of you say from making haircuts or selling haircuts. That'd be correct. But there may be other sources of revenue. Now the most common one is sales revenue, just seen there, selling products. But sometimes you may get money from renting out your space. So if you rented out your office space, for example, you would get rental income. You may get paid a form of revenue on any money you've got in the bank if you're being paid interest, like you might have on your savings account. Or you may even get revenue from doing something called sale of assets. Now, assets are items you own, and it's basically selling off the ones that you no longer need. So, for example, if you were selling off your Xbox, that would be a sale of an asset, and any cash that you got would be a form of revenue. Now, we do actually go a bit further than this, and we normally talk about sustainable and unsustainable sources. Now, sustainable sources means sources that can go on forever and ever and ever, and the business can survive based on them. Unsustainable means that it's a short-term fix and it's not a long-term option. So I would be arguing, for example, that sales revenue is sustainable because if you did lots of sales revenue all the time, you're going to make money and your business can keep trading. Whereas sales of assets would be unsustainable because at some point you're going to run out of assets to sell off and you can no longer continue to trade as a business. Hopefully you now understand that revenue is money going into a business and it's not profit. That's calculated later. Now there is one final source that we haven't mentioned here, and this could be investment income. And I've left this to the end because people forget that the owner's investment, or the bank for example giving you a loan, it is a form of revenue. It's not ideal, but it is a form of revenue. Money coming into a business. Again, that would be an example of a not sustainable source. So let's just try and do a calculation. B charges an average selling price of £10 per haircut and will cut 50 people's hair each week. Calculate the weekly revenue. Pause the video while you do this. Okay, hopefully you've got the answer where you've got number of sales times by the price per unit, which is 50 sales times by £10, and you've worked out that that is £500 per week. So you've learnt the formula now for revenue is quite simply number of sales times the price per unit. I'm sure you got it right. If I said turn that into a yearly figure, what would you do with that £500? I'm hoping you're going to say times it by 52, and if you were going to say that, you'd get the answer of £26,000 yearly. Okay, I now assume that you actually have a fairly decent understanding of this topic. What I'm going to ask you to do now is to try and do some past exam questions that I picked out. I don't own the copyright to these questions, these belong to the exam board. However, I've taken these for you so you can look at it. So you can see these questions here. See how many of these questions you can actually answer. I'll provide you with the answers separately. However, work your way through, pausing the video while you attempt each of the questions.